And welcome to Advanced Trends in Data Journalism. This is for Journalism M03, Advanced Digital Media Reporting and Writing at Moore Park College, and my name is Professor Kelsey Stewart. Make sure that you read the article, Bringing the Power of Data to Deadline Stories by Marjo Webster, and you listen to the M02 lecture, An Introduction to Data Journalism, before going further in these slides. Here we have a list of advanced trends in data journalism. All of these are open source, nonprofit projects that work to help organize and analyze data for web programmers, data analysis, scientists, and journalists. We have Python 3, Pandas, R Markdown, Beautiful Soup, Jupyter Notebooks, and lastly the Anaconda distribution. Python 3. Python is a programming language that lets you work more quickly and integrate your systems more effectively. You can learn to use Python and see almost immediate gains in productivity and lower maintenance costs. If you want to learn more about Python, you can click on the link. Pandas stands for Python Data Analysis Library. It is an open source library that allows data scientists and journalists and all users to explore, manipulate, and visualize data in an efficient manner. It has been compared to Microsoft Excel in Python. The main use for data journalism is intelligent data alignment and integrated handling of missing data. In a world where data analytics and manipulation software is accessible to everyone, free for users to modify, it's flexible, powerful, and easy to use. Panda or Python Data Analysis Library is highly recommended. R Markdown is a file format for making dynamic documents with R. Basically, with R Markdown, you write a single RMD file and then use it to render finished output in a variety of formats. You can combine R Markdown with an HTML widget to make interactive documents as well. Beautiful Soup is a Python library for pulling data out of HTML and XML files. This is available on Python 3. Jupyter Notebooks. Jupyter Notebooks is an open source web application that allows you to create and share documents that contain live code, equations, visualizations, and narrative text. The uses include data cleaning and transformation, numerical simulation, statistical modeling, data visualization, machine learning, and much more. The Jupyter Notebook app is a server-client application that allows editing and running notebook documents via a web browser. The Jupyter Notebook app can be executed on a local desktop requiring no internet access, or it can be installed on a remote server and accessed through the internet. We have the Anaconda distribution. Anaconda is free and an open source distribution of the Python and R programming languages for scientific computing, such as data science, machine learning applications, large-scale data processing, predictive analytics, and more, that aims to simplify package management and deployment. Basically, if you want access to the above talked about trending data applications, you download the Anaconda distribution. The open source Anaconda distribution is the easiest way to perform Python and R data science and machine learning. This appears on Windows and Macs. With over 19 million users worldwide, is the industry standard for developing, testing, and training on a single machine. You can download the Python R data science packages for free. It helps you manage libraries, dependencies, and environments. You can develop and train machine learning and deep learning modules. You can also analyze data and visualize results. Here we have the Anaconda distribution homepage, which shows you how to download. You'll click the download button and you'll click the 3.7 version. It should download in about 15 to 20 minutes. When you download it, you will open it up and save it to your desktop as a file. named Anaconda Distribution, and further with this in our next lesson when we learn how to apply this concept and this distribution channel into our deadline stories. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you in class.